I've, even went to a nutritionist to try to help me, and I gained weight. I was so close to being pre-diabetic, and I thought I was doing everything right. I haven't been through a drive-through since I started the program, not because I don't have the opportunity, I just didn't want it. So my cravings changed, my body changed. I had hope. It's working. I feel so much better, and you delivered on everything you promised.
Welcome back to the Becoming MindStrong podcast. My name's Rachel, and I'm the founder and CEO of MindStrong, where I get to use my background in education. I am so excited for you to check out today's episode where I'm interviewing Ignite alum Shelley. And the reason I love Shelley's conversation is this. Because we only work in the world of peri and postmenopausal women, there is a theme to the women we work with. These are educated women. It is very rare that someone comes to us and they're like, yeah, I know nothing about this, right? Usually by the time women find us, they're like, Rachel, I have done the work. I have Googled this to death. I have watched the workshops. I have been through the apps and nothing is working. And one of the things that you're going to hear Shelley say is, Rachel, I am an educated woman. It should not be this hard. And when she said that, I was like, hands in the air, hallelujah, yes, because that is literally why I started this company almost a decade ago. And on the other side of it, now Shelley has what I love to say, the keys to the kingdom. She understands the how, she understands the why. She's in the driver's seat. Now she understands it so she can keep it going for the rest of her life. And that's what it's all about. So without further ado, here is Shelley's story. I hope you enjoy. Thank you for joining us today, Shelley. I'm excited to talk to you.
Oh, I'm so excited to talk to you. This is so fun.
Ah, yes. So let's start at the beginning. Can
Okay.
you remember pre-Ignite Shelley? Like what was going on mentally, physically, emotionally that first brought you into the Ignite family?
Yeah, actually, pretty vividly. I didn't feel good in my body. I felt kind of bloated. I felt frustrated, a little hopeless. I felt like everybody was trying to sell me something to fix this problem, but no one was necessarily trying to help me. Everybody wanted, to do something that just didn't necessarily seem right. There was so much conflicting information. And I just didn't feel good. It was hitting, the perimenopause. I've, even went to a nutritionist to try to help me, and I gained weight. And I was like, okay, forget this. It's all the stuff that you then explain when you come into Ignite. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. And I started doing my research on, okay, who are people that really specialize in perimenopause? Because this cookie cutter stuff for people who aren't in perimenopause isn't working. My body is unfamiliar. It's doing things I don't want it to do. Nothing I did before worked. And, I narrowed down then to MindStrong because I was like, okay, they promise I can do this on my own. I read your book ahead of time. I listened to your podcast ahead of time. Obviously, I'm a big researcher. I was like, okay, all this makes sense. And you're giving away the secret sauce, right? You're not trying to hide it all behind. You're not saying, I'm going to be dependent on you forever. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try one last thing. And this
Mm.
is going to be it. And if MindStrong delivers on what they said, it's totally going to be worth it. And it did. And I'm so happy I made this choice. And I feel so much better.
Oh, that makes my heart so happy. My running joke, I don't know if I've ever said this to you, is I have the worst sales pitch in the world because you only need me once. Like I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom and that's it. Love and light and be on your way.
But that's what I needed. Everybody else seemed like they're like, do this year-long program or only do our stuff a certain way. And I know that's not going to work. And again, like you said, coming from the marketing mindset, I didn't really analyze what all these things were, but you were delivering on every single thing you said. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to take this leap of faith because I don't know what to do and I need help.
Uh,
So,
I love that you use the word hope too, because that is always cheesy or not. Like that's the word I always come back to in this peri and post menopause stage of life that we specialize in. It's
yeah.
like I'm doing everything right. I'm doing all the things I used to work. Nothing works. I give up hope. And that is my
Yeah. I mean,
prayer
that's
on
kind
a
of
daily.
where I was. And it, like you said, it just, to anybody else not in that situation, they don't really understand it. And I was
Mm,
like, I need to find somewhere that understands that. that's not going to judge, that's going to empathize. And, this is the first time I'm going through this. Your team goes through this with so many women. You understand things that I'm not going to know. So no matter what I read, no matter what I do, I needed that help from experts. And it's really hard to find trustworthy experts who actually want to help you and then help you figure out how to do it for yourself and not like a cookie cutter program. So, yeah, I think that was the biggest thing is, I had hope. It's working. I feel so much better. And you delivered on everything you promised.
Mm. Oh, that makes my heart so happy. Giving back hope, like that is the mecca for me. It's like your body is not broken. This is not a death sentence for the rest of your life. We just need to learn how to do this the way that our body is now. It's not the same body that it was when we were 20, but
Yeah.
we're trying to do the same things and then we give up hope because we feel like it's not working. That is music to my ears.
Okay. That's all
Good.
true.
So so we dive in, we get started with Ignite. Do you remember any initial, whether it was mental, physical, emotional, any initial aha moments where it's like, oh, something's shifting, like this seems to be the real deal and things are changing?
Yeah. There were a couple, physically, I started to feel better, right? You could tell I didn't just feel so uncomfortable in my skin. And, that hope was coming back mentally. But the biggest mind shift for me was I lost guilt around food
Oh,
because everything else I had tried before, if you didn't follow, like the low carbs, and you felt guilty if you ate them. If you didn't do something else, you felt guilty. Now it's just food. And I get to control what I pick and what I feel like eating. And I don't have to feel guilty because I know what my guardrails are.
mm,
And so it was having that, well, yeah, I can eat this and I don't have to feel guilty about it. It was a really big difference instead of being like, what food is off limits to being like, what do I want to eat? What will make me feel good to eat? And now I don't have the guilt around the food. And if I make a choice that's maybe not the best choice, I know I'm doing that, but I also know why and where I can make it up. So, yeah, losing that guilt around food types was huge.
that's massive. A lot of times when we talk to people about you're going to track your food temporarily to get to intuitive eating, the pushback is I already ruminate about food all day long. Isn't this going to make it worse? And my answer is always there's a huge difference between rumination and thinking about it to master a skill. And to your
Yes.
point, when you're thinking about it to master a skill, that is what happens organically. The shame, the blame, the guilt, it is going to organically disappear because exactly. Like we're not labeling foods good, bad, allowed, not allowed. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's more nutritious. And I can see, for me, it's my donuts. Like I can still have that donut now and then, and I don't have to beat myself up or splurge or cheat on my diet. And man, if we could measure the energetic release in your life, night and day.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm thinking about food and what's going to go into what the day looks like, but I know what the day should look like and what will make my body feel good. But I now figured out how I can eat pasta, which I didn't eat a lot of, but I ate it and I enjoyed it instead of feeling like I'm overweight, I can't eat pasta.
Mm,
So the guilt, and I think you mentioned shame too around that. There isn't any because I know that I'm eating to what's right for my body and what's healthy with the tools that you've taught. And I can make those decisions so I can have the payoffs, but it's not like guilt or shame by eating it because I'm off plan. I'm never off plan because I can pick what I want and where I can move those levers around. But yeah, you hit it when you said energetic release,
mm,
to not feel guilty about what I'm eating or that I'm not eating everything clean, but knowing what I want my totals to be and why, and that I feel better. Huge shift in energy. Like you said, that rumination. So of course I'm thinking about it and I'm measuring it, but it doesn't have that negative feeling of I shouldn't eat this.
mm. I hope upon hope that one day we can measure the energetic release, because especially as women, right?
Wouldn't
We're
that be
in our heads, we beat
fantastic?
ourselves up. Like if we could see, oh, I just lost 20 energetic pounds because I've stopped beating the crap out of myself.
When you have that app, let me know. I'll sign up.
Exactly. We first in
I'll buy
line.
that tool, whatever that is. But I can say it just feels better. You feel almost like you've lost. weight or like that load of what you carry when you go to eat, that you're not judging your food or what you're putting in your mouth because you know what it is and how it's going to do. It just, yeah, I think that was the biggest thing with my shift on that one was, and I didn't even really realize it till later, was getting rid of that. Yeah, it's a good way you put it, that negative energy around food.
Yeah, yeah. The shame, blame, guilt is real. And again,
Oh,
I'm
it's
sure
so
men
real.
have it too, but as women, I feel like we are the queens of that.
Well, we feel like people are judging or
Mm,
looking at it. And where I was
yeah.
really judging myself on that. And now I'm like, oh, that's great. Look, you can eat this, you can enjoy this. Look at how you've, set your body up for success overall, and you can still have whatever it is I want to have,
Oh, I love
which
that.
is amazing. So much more
Incredible.
freedom.
Free food freedom. Like it is a
Yeah,
real thing. It is a tangible thing we can achieve. Yes.
true.
Okay,
Totally
here's my favorite question. I'm gonna
true.
put
Okay.
you in the coach's chair.
All right.
I want you to pretend for a second that on the other side of this call is not Rachel, CEO of MindStrong. It's Rachel feeling stuck, perimenopause. What the heck is happening in my body? All the stuff that used to work isn't working. I find this MindStrong company. I'm skeptical as heck because I've been promised the world more times than I can count, and it's been filled with snake oil salesmen.
Hmm.
What do you, Coach Shelley, say to newbie Rachel about taking the leap, going on the journey, the process ahead?
I So there's a couple things in there, obviously, is do your research to make sure it fits. But once you've decided this is the right fit for you, which in my opinion, it's been such a good one because it's so different and you're going to learn. And then learn these tools at your own pace.
Real quickly, before we keep going in this episode, we are talking a lot about metabolisms in menopause in today's episode. So I want to offer you a chance to deepen your knowledge. If you haven't yet checked out my free workshop, How to Fire Up Your Metabolism in Menopause and Beyond, it is one of my go to favorite pieces of content that I have out here in the interwebs. You can use the link in the show notes below or go to mindstrongfitness.com and you'll get a cute little pop up that'll get you straight into the workshop. Now, let's get back to the show.
One of the great things about this is, did you hear from what I said before? I read, I researched, I did everything. So that's available for us that want a lot of information. For those that don't, there's a gentle intro. There's a coach who will answer any questions. Take advantage of the community. Ask a lot of questions. Ask the things that maybe you're afraid to ask because your coach has dealt with so many women in perimenopause, and we don't talk about it enough in our groups, but in, my personal groups, but you can talk about it with your coach. It's like she has a community of hundreds of women that she can pull from and have all these answers. And know that MindStrong leads with empathy and not judgment. So you can feel safe, that it's a safe place. And then on the practical side, um, consistency and not perfection. I have a perfectionist tendency, a really heavy one. And you can be consistent, learn your body can learn to trust you. You can learn to trust yourself with food. And if you just be consistent, then you might have a bad meal, but you don't have to have a bad day or a bad week just because you didn't do it perfect. And the more consistent you can be and forgiving you can be for yourself, the better you're going to feel. And then on the really practical side, use your measuring cups, your measuring spoons, and your scale because we have no idea how much a tablespoon of peanut butter actually is.
Yes. Oh, what solid advice. Oh my gosh. I love that you brought in the differentiated learning aspect because that, my background is in teaching and that was the thing I would say actually we've probably spent the last as of the time we're talking 8 years really trying to perfect is we know some people have data brains like you and I have where it's like teach me everything, tell me everything all at once. I want to dive in the deep end. And then there's people who you see the deer in headlights and they're like, I need you to walk me a stair at a time. Don't show me what's coming up or I will freak out, right?
Yeah.
And
And
we've
it's
really
perfect
tried to
for
balance that.
everybody. And I think a lot of the other programs are so cookie cutter
Mm,
that you feel like you're on your own. And you don't have to be on your own with MindStrong. There are so many different ways and different ways you can participate and ways you can learn and listen. You don't have to be in the spotlight. You can be in the spotlight. You can dive in and read everything. Take the pieces, ask for help, ask which, podcast episode you might be able to listen to. It's just a super safe space for not only what you need, but what you want to take from it.
Mm. I love that. I love that. And that's, yeah, there, one size fits all. Number one doesn't work for anyone. Number two,
No,
if you're in a peri or postmenopausal body, I promise you, like that, those cookie cutter programs, it can't work because your body is not the same body it used to be. And it's not the same body as your best friend sitting next to you. Right.
no, like I said, I went to a nutritionist and I gained weight.
Oh,
And, I was about ready to give up. And I was like, I'm just going to try one more thing. And so the investment with me and myself was worth it. But again, I did my research and found that you had all these different things and you were talking to people and helping people. And I really felt that passion and that teacher in you that you weren't like, yes, it's a business, of course, and you spend a lot of time finding the right coaches and finding the right people, but what I feel, if you feel like you're alone when you come into this group, you don't feel alone anymore.
mm, I love that. And how important, especially at this stage of life where we live in a society who is not talking enough about this, to have
Right.
that safe space and be like, what the heck is happening to my body right now? And just
Or
venting
or
about
if
it.
you are, you're all confused and then
Yeah.
you don't have a coach in your group. So this way now you have a coach in your community and then you have other people going through the same program and people comparing things and offering suggestions and all of a sudden you're like, now I'm okay now. And
Yeah.
I have the support that I need with everybody that understands. And nobody's faking it, right?
Yeah.
Everybody on your team wants to help
Hmm.
and loves to help. They're all obviously you can tell they're handpicked and you spent a lot of time with this culture because there's not a person or a coach I've seen speak on these different ones that I wouldn't be like, oh, I could learn something from them.
Yeah.
Everybody feels like they're giving instead of just taking.
Mm. Oh, my heart. That is, whenever we hire a new coach, I always tell them, look, yes, it's a business. This is my baby. This is my heart, my
Yeah.
soul, my everything. And not everyone gets to hold the baby. Like,
Well, yeah, exactly.
we have an incredible, we just had, as of the time we're recording this 2 weeks ago, we had a full team meeting, everyone, back end, front end, coaches. And it was one of those moments I just looked around the Zoom room and I was like, my heart is like exploding out of my chest right now because such great educators, but even more importantly, such heart-centered women on this team. And I love that that's so apparent.
Yeah. And like I said, it's all coming from empathy too and no judgment. I really
Mm,
do believe every single person on your team wants to help.
yeah. You just made my day, Shelley. Thank you.
Okay. That's all true.
Is there anything else you want to add either about your own journey or advice you would give to someone who's feeling stuck at this beautiful menopausal stage of life?
Yeah. I think some of this is, again, give yourself a minute, give yourself a little grace. Again, if you're a perfectionist like I am, kind of work with the consistency and give yourself room there. Like I said, ask the questions. Too, when I started, I was so close to being pre-diabetic and I thought I was doing everything right. And my numbers are better and my clothes started fitting better. So other things will change necessarily before you see that scale change. And that is super hard. But if you pay attention to what else is happening, either with your energy or your clothes fitting better, and of course, you're telling us that, but until you experience it, there is some frustration. You're like, okay, well, great. I've been eating really good for 2 days. How come I'm not seeing it? And
Yeah.
I know in my head, but the more you can do to get your emotions in line with your brain and your body to trust you, you'll start being able to trust yourself and your body. So look for the other signs besides just the scale. And that was probably a harder thing for me to work with. But once you do that and you can see all the other things, you realize you're on a longer term path, which is what I was looking for. But everything else tells us it has to be a quick fix. but a quick fix is not going to be permanent. And I really wanted this life skill because I didn't want to go backwards. So give yourself a little grace, give yourself a little patience, you know, take advantage of what your team has to offer and think about this as really an investment in yourself. It's a big decision, but it's so worth it when you realize why you're doing it, why you want to do it, and it's more than just now the scale part is great too. I'm not saying I didn't like that part, but it's more than that.
Oh, oh, that is such great advice because we live in a society of quick fixes and the scale is the be all end all. And when we
Yeah.
can start to, I mean, the number of women we've seen come to us pre-diabetic and those numbers have just disappeared with time. Like, what is the value of that? Like, this is your inner health. It
It's
doesn't get better than that.
huge. Oh, and one other thing too, it was interesting. My cravings totally changed. A lot of them went away. All of a sudden, and certain food that is a little less healthy for you didn't quite taste as good. So I didn't have to eat as much of it. So part of that was I was super excited about. Part of me was a little sad because I was like, oh, that doesn't taste like I wanted, to be honest. But the other part of me was like, well, you know how great it is that I don't feel like I want to go run and get McDonald's French fries because I'm driving by and I've had a bad day. That is amazing.
Yeah.
I haven't been through a drive-through since I started the program, not because I don't have the opportunity. I just didn't want it. So my cravings changed, my body changed. I'm not saying I'm not going to ever have French fries, but I haven't had that need or that feeling that something was drawing me in that I couldn't ignore. Now it's more like, oh my God, I'm almost out of apples. I need to go to the store. It's weird, but it's great.
Isn't
So,
that incredible too, that you're in a program that teaches you like, if you want to have that once in a while, have
yeah.
it. And suddenly we're like, but I don't really want it, as opposed to like, I can't have it, I can't have it.
And I think that was the big thing too,
Yeah.
because all of a sudden I had permission. I could actually evaluate if I really wanted to, or I just didn't want to be told what not to do.
Yeah.
So now that I could do it, I'm like, okay, no. So I'm not like rebelling against myself. I have control over what I select, but it doesn't all have to be vegetables,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
though I like vegetables, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
So it's been an amazing change, and there's just so many other little changes. And when you look back, you're like, that went really fast, those 12 weeks. But oh my gosh, the changes are so much bigger than just dropping weight.
Yeah. And most importantly to me as an educator is now you have the tools for the rest of your life. There's no like, well, I saw some success in 12 weeks. Now what? It's like, no, here are the keys to the kingdom. Here's how to keep your metabolism healthy for the rest of your life.
And that's what you said you would do. You're not like, oh, well, now
But wait, there's
you,
more.
but there's more, but we're not going to tell it to you. But there's this secret thing over here. You're like, look, I laid it out for you. I'm here. You can keep going with support or you can keep going. But you laid it out, learned a skill, met some amazing people, and now still participating because I want to, not because you said you wouldn't unlock the door,
The
right?
secret pyramid scheme of
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So everything that was delivered, but just even knowing that I have that control and that knowledge and I'm not guessing anymore, that's the big thing too.
Oh,
So
Shelley, I wish I could hug you through the computer. You are one of my
some
favorite expressions is the work works when you do the work, right? And you're such a living, breathing example of when you lean in and trust the process. The beauty of this is it's not Rachel's 12-week diet. Our superpower is education. So this is human biology. We're just going to make it really simple to follow, and you got to follow it. And when you follow it, it works. And you are such a shining example of that. So thank
I'm just
you.
so glad I found you and your team.
Mm. Thank you for sharing your story with us. I know it's going to inspire so many peri and postmenopausal women who are feeling that hopelessness as well.
I hope so, because it's such a good feeling to have hope back.
Thank you.